Welcome to Zonie Living. We're talking about red light therapy. It's only been approved in the US since 2002, but it's being used in spas and doctors' offices across the country. Red light therapy is helping people with all kinds of ailments and conditions, from acne to weight loss, joint injuries to hair loss, and even different types of cancer. Our guest today is a trailblazer in the health and wellness industry and a huge believer in the healing power of red light and infrared light treatments. Penny Foss is a nutritionist and health coach. She owns a holistic wellness center and has seen extraordinary, some might even say miraculous results. Through her innovations, she is making advanced wellness solutions like red light therapy accessible to people in their homes. Please meet Penny Foss. Hi, Penny.
Hi, Bonnie. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too. I know you've been in the health and wellness business for a long time, but about 5 years ago, you took a deep dive into red light therapy. Will you please take us on your journey?
Yeah, so when I first opened my wellness center, actually, my first one was really teeny. I was just focusing on weight loss and nutrition and genetic testing for nutrition. And I was introduced to red light therapy. And I told my friend, Dr. Carney, who I was going with him to go check out this red light therapy pad system for weight loss. I said, come on, it can't work. I did this other one. They floated lights around me and it did absolutely nothing. He says, I don't know. They say it works. I said, fine. So he invested $28,000 in his first machine.
Oh,
And I said, oh God, he's wasting his money. And so I went down to his office and I wrapped myself with his red light therapy pads. And I was mostly focusing first for weight loss. And I saw a difference on my body from the first time that I did it. And I said, oh my God, this actually works. That I invested the next week in my own machine with $28,000. And so I've had a successful practice with having clients come in for weight loss and skin tightening. But then it was like, oh, my knee feels better. And then I'm like, okay, on my elbow, and wow, my neuropathy is dissipating. And so I started researching more. I'm like, there's over 8,000 studies on the National Institute of Health's website on light therapy. And most people don't know that in 1995, NASA took red lights on board Space Shuttle Columbia to see if they can grow plants in space. And not only did that help with that, they also found that the astronauts tending to the plants, the scratches on their hands started to heal, and nothing had ever healed in space.
oh wow.
So NASA spent millions of dollars on research. And so we have all these studies out there now that we can actually see what it does to the body, and there's no side effects. And so it helps all these people. So we have pads, we have a bed, and now we have home use devices so people can afford them as well and get better at home.
Well, two things about that. First of all, it sounds like red light therapy was really a surprise in all the things that it was able to do. And the other
Yeah.
thing, as you were speaking, you mentioned $28,000 for a red light, for some red light equipment. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but I have to
Mhm.
share how we met. So Penny and
Mhm.
I were both attending a women's conference in Orange County,
Yeah.
California. And at the very end of the day, as we were all packing up and getting ready to leave, I'm guessing I mentioned my arm or was rubbing my arm or something. I had an injured shoulder. And then the next thing I know, Penny's got this device, this red light blanket wrapped around me, kind of like a blood pressure cuff, right around my arm. And she plugs
Yeah.
it in and turns it on. And of course, Penny and I are still talking. And then pretty soon I realize that I'm feeling the beautiful warmth from, I guess, the LED lights. But
Yeah.
then I have learned that that's not really what it's about. So can you explain the science behind this red light therapy?
Yes, absolutely. So all of our cells have mitochondria, which produce adenosine triphosphate, which is ATP. That's the battery of the cell. And so the light helps produce more ATP so the body can heal itself. So when we're looking at fat cells, we'll talk about that because I do a lot of weight loss in here, but we'll pretend this is a fat cell. It actually liquefies it and opens up its pores, the fat comes out.
Oh,
And
wow.
so then it goes through lymphatic system and processed through liver. That's for the fat. But now let's say, for instance, people want skin tightening. That's why we can actually take a dome and put it over the face, okay, for skin tightening, it because the body is able to produce collagen, because as we get older, we're not producing collagen anymore, or at least less of it. And so it can start regenerating nerves. And so the body is doing its job better. That's how the light therapy works. And so it's pretty amazing. And then it reduces inflammation. And with the devices that I created, this is our really, we did, with the R&D, which I was doing, is like, let's get them to work faster, because people told me I got to get back on the court. I got to play pickleball. And so within 15 minutes, and that's why with you, I didn't want to see you in pain. I didn't have it with me. I actually had him in my car. And I went and got it for you because I didn't want to see you in pain. And so that's where I transition now to the consumer market. But it's really, the science behind it is it reducing inflammation and helping the body work better, so, and repair itself. That's really what it's doing. So it's pretty incredible.
So it's underneath the skin is what's happening, where
Yeah.
all this magic is happening,
Yes.
and it's fueling the cells to supercharge them. So until I met you, Penny, I really didn't know much about red light therapy. But when I think about this treatment, and we just talked about this, I imagined big equipment like a heavy tanning bed with a lid that closes over you, and all these lights that turn on with this red glow for a set amount of time. But I know that
Yes.
you wanted patients, clients to be able to take an affordable red light tool home with them. So tell us about your innovations. Take us into that, the Red Light Pro devices.
Thank you. Yeah, we do actually still have a bed in the clinic, and it's a $75,000 bed
Whew.
because it's so big, but and we can get people off in and out in 12 minutes. And the pad system as well, it was big, and again, $28,000. And honestly, I was never thought a few years ago that I'd be making devices for consumer. I had started making the red light sculpting systems for practitioners about 3 years ago. So I thought, you know what? I love it so much. I was helping with a company. I thought, I'm going to find someone so we can get them out there faster and to more people. And so I did. And I'll just share with you, I was very sick a few years back, and no one could help me for years. About 3.5 years, I was very dizzy. I couldn't drive my kids to school sometimes. I couldn't walk across a room.
Wow.
I had really bad pain and one in my intestines. And one day I sat on the bathroom floor and I asked God to help me get better. And I share this because 2 days later, I got directed to a place that helped me with food sensitivity testing. And that's actually what happened with my pain and inflammation, and the dizziness was from foods. That's a whole different thing. But because God helped me, I have a hard time charging for pain. And I felt bad that I had someone have to come in, but I have to charge them $100 to wrap them because we have this expensive device and we have to pay for room in the clinic. And so
Sure.
I worked very hard to get the same power that we have in the clinics, to be in a device that people could be at home, and with really for about $400 for a small device, they can heal at home. Now they can do it 3 or 4 times a day. Now because we're increasing HP production a few more and more, it actually heals up the process. And so that's what I did. And our first ones took about 25 minutes and 20 minutes. And I'm at a pickleball tournament, like, oh, I got to go back. And I'm like, okay, let's make them a little stronger. And so now we have these, and like you have one there, but let me grab one of this. This is one of my small ones here. This one it's 11 by 8, and
Uh-huh.
it has 540 lights, and there's about 3 lights in each of these squares, which are called diodes. And so we have the near infrared, which is the 860 nanometer, and we have the red light therapy. So the higher the nanometer, the lower it goes into the body, goes deeper in.
Oh, wow.
Um, with LEDs, we can go up to about 1,000 or 900. After 1,000, there's not enough power, so it just goes back up again. And so that's where we see the lasers, but those cannot be in the use for home because you could burn someone.
Okay.
With these, they're not going to burn anyone. They're set to a certain temperature, and then within really 15 minutes, even 10 minutes, we see a difference. But even with LEDs and not lasers, we can actually, when we're doing fat melting or even helping the organs, we can actually get deep into where the organs are and start melting fat there, helping the organs work better. Here's an example of a picture of a heart that's healthy and a heart with fat around it.
Mm.
That's the visceral fat. That's a
Hmm.
dangerous fat. So we actually see with whether it's the pad system or the bed, every 4 or 5 pounds that my clients are losing in here, it goes down one level. And it's pretty exciting to see that because it's helping the body work better. Especially, I look at, injuries if somebody can't, go play and be healthy because they can't move and they're not exercising, the weight comes up and they're not happy. And if we can get them without
Mm,
pain and without opioids, right? We have this really bad,
right.
the epidemic with the opioids is it keeps getting worse and worse every year. And if we can reduce the pain and heal faster, we could probably put a dent in that. So it's really important to get these out.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you were talking
Yeah.
about how it burns up fat. So
Mhm.
if you lay any size of these over a particular part of your body, it's breaking it down?
But what it does, it doesn't break. Well, the fat cell stays intact, just like we'll use this again, right? Is if I
Okay.
squeeze it, it's coming out, but the fat cell itself is still there. And but there are protocols after for that. So it's a low carb diet. We have to
Okay.
eat more low glycemic vegetables. There's a whole process that I teach.
Okay.
There's exercise involved. We have to move it because the fat comes out and it has to go to the lymphatic system process through liver. So we need circulatory. We also do a massager,
Okay.
compression. So there's all these things that I teach the facilities when they purchase the bigger devices. And we are putting together, I'm putting together a whole course for home so people can then get the fat loss. So yeah, so anyway, we're doing, that's why with our face domes, like you see it on Amazon, those masks people put on their face.
Mm-hmm.
With this, when we do skin tightening, we hold it above the face because if we put it on the face, we're going to melt the fat because it's that powerful. We don't want to do
Wow.
that. So for skin tightening does not need to be touching it. For fat, it needs to be closer and
Okay.
touching the surface of the body to go deeper.
Well, of course, I'm thinking about baby boomers and how that generation is aging. And many of them are very active, living long, fulfilling lives. You mentioned
Yeah.
pickleball and tennis,
Mhm.
talking about hiking and mountain bike riding and chasing their grandchildren. So I am sure all of these fantastic activities are leading to a lot of sprains and pulled muscles and even wounds. So I feel like you have found a fountain of youth of sorts in the portable red light therapy pad. So you were touching on this, but what can we do? Say I twisted my ankle in tennis. Can I go home and just put this on and how many times, how long do I need to use this?
Yeah, we actually have batteries that we can send out. People can purchase so they can have it on the court, which would be
Oh
even
wow.
faster.
Yeah.
I have a friend who took it out, and there's a lady, they did about 3 treatments within an hour, and she went and played again. They actually had carried her off the court when she was playing pickleball because it was so severe, it was swelling up.
Oh yeah.
So it's the pain is caused because of the inflammation. So we can get it down. So treatment's usually about 10, 15 minutes and up to about 4 times a day. We can do it and really help the injury heal because reduce inflammation and the body's like, hey, oh great, I've got some energy. Let me start healing it faster. So
Game
it's
changer.
exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So you
Yeah.
mentioned there's no side effects, there's no danger with taking this home. And you
No.
were talking about, using it a couple of times a day for about
Mhm.
10 minutes, I think, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes, depending. Like ankles have less tissue. So after about 10 minutes, people feel it's getting kind of warm.
Uh-huh.
Some people like the heat. You can turn it down. We actually have them made. Just to share with you, like not all devices same. There's lots of on Amazon, and but nobody has put as many per square inch that I have done. But we do have a controller. I'm going to show you here, and we can actually adjust the temperatures and the levels and the time, not temperature, but the levels, which actually increase the temperature. And then we have a timer as well, so we can turn it off. It turns off automatically. Again, that was a square one. You have one of the knee pads as well, which also could be for elbow. I have ones for shoulder, and then we
Hmm.
could talk about brain health too as well, and also for hair growth. This is the hat. This has
Oh, that's great.
500 lights in each shower. There's 900 lights in this little area. And in October, I was losing my hair. Let stress get to me, and
Okay.
I was losing my hair. And all of this is all brand new growth that I had lost. Um, and due to stress, and it literally within 10 days, we started seeing hair growth. And I was teaching at one of the colleges about red light therapy. And the professor there was like, I'm an expert on hair. Can I see? And he goes, yep, I confirmed that it's all new hair growth because it was tiny little pieces.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty amazing. We even in 70 people's in their 70s see a difference in their hair growth as well too. So it's very exciting, and I know I shared with you the story about my sister too, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too, about her, how it helped her after she had a stroke too. It's pretty
Absolutely.
amazing.
And I want to mention how beautiful and full and healthy your hair looks. So you are certainly the poster child for what this product can do. And as you were mentioning, we've talked about so many wonderful applications, but
Yeah,
let's talk about your sister now. I want to talk about the serious effects, the
yeah,
serious results you get from this product. And your sister's name
yeah.
is Maria, and please share with us her story.
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, I was watching a webinar on light therapy and Alzheimer's and how it's helping the brain and help dissipate amyloid plaque. And I thought, why don't I put my face dome that I showed you earlier over my sister's head and let's see what we can do. And she was having a hard time talking and she was tongue-tied. And I think you have the video, you'll show how the difference between it. But I thought, let me try. And the video that I think that you have, it was 22 days, 5 sessions for 20 minutes each over her head. And we saw literally an improvement about 80% of her speech. And so we actually have something called CogniView in the center here now that checks for brain for memory and cognition. And we do see different. I have a lady who is on actually the red light bed, which does the same thing, has a brain panel. And she went from a level 15, which is really low on memory, to 71 in about 6 weeks with coming just once a week. So we see even for the brain, all these amazing things that are happening for healing, including the brain.
Gosh, well, you just see so many amazing results. And it's one thing to hear these stories, but you actually shared a video of your sister Maria with me, and so I'd like to go to that video right now so
Yeah.
we can see the before she started treatment and the after we started treatment.
Today is what, Maria?
October 16th,
October 16th. When did you have your stroke?
March 22nd,
Uh-huh.
2019.
19. Okay, great. So we're doing this video because I want you to take the red light dome home and use it every day or every other day and see what happens, okay? So I want to see a difference. So go ahead and tell me your numbers, 0 through 10.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Great. Now go ahead and give me, I would say A through, I don't know, G or H or something like that.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
All right, so we're here with Maria. It's November 11th, and you've done 5 or 6 sessions now with the red light.
5.
5. Okay, so go ahead and tell me your ABCs.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Perfect. And now, go ahead and give me your numbers, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Awesome.
So, Penny, this just appears to be extraordinary progress and recovery from a stroke just after a few sessions with the red light. And this is what you are bringing to the world. You are changing lives with this product.
It's really amazing. I didn't know if it was going to help, and now we are doing just different therapies for different people. Actually, just we're collaborating with the City of Hope. Actually, there's an event next week with for cutaneous lymphoma for cancers, and we're setting up a whole wellness area with the doctors to see the devices as well. And they'll be also going to the LA County Sheriff's Department next week as well because they need the therapies as well. So it's very exciting because we can recover with, like I said, with the brain. I do it every morning. I still do it, because like I said, I was devastated that I was losing my hair, and I thought, oh my God, I have a hat. I was so grateful. And my clients, they get to have them and take them home, and now we get them out to the masses and help more people. And with products that actually work, like we have I'll just show with you. This is
Sure.
this is our large one, you know, so we can actually wrap the back and
Okay.
the face dome we have, and I'll share another really great story about my Mitt. And this actually was created because I was practicing pickleball, and so I have one to put your hand in, and it was hard to wrap it, and so I created it. What's amazing is my mom's friend, her husband fell from a second story ladder, which was terrible. He was in the hospital for 3 months, and he was home for 1 month. And my mom says, I better take my red light pad to him so he can try it. And it relieved his back. And then he said a few days later, you know, maybe I'll try the glove, because he couldn't move his hand just a little bit because there was a plate that they put in it.
Okay.
And literally 15 minutes later, and I should have videotaped it, but I didn't think it was going to happen so fast. He's like this, oh my
My
God, I can't believe it.
goodness.
My hand is moving. And he says, should I tell physical therapy tomorrow? I'm like, yes, please tell them that what you just did. But truly, it's amazing. We see these, I guess I would say, miracles, you know, because it's truly, even with the bed, we have people walk in the clinic with a cane and they walk out without a cane.
Wow.
I'm in tears almost every day seeing what happens. And if we can help people recover faster, they can live their life to their fullest, right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Well, where do you see the future headed with this product?
you know what? I basically see it in the hands of everyone. We're getting together now kits for coaches so they can have them on the field for the kids. So when they, and adults too as well, so they can recover right away. And then I do see that we will probably be able to put a dent in the opioid epidemic. That's my two things in the world are to reverse obesity, and with my protocols of food and the red light, it's happening little by little, and the more we get out there, it's more. And then same with the opioid epidemic. You know, people are going in for surgery for hips or hand or something, and then they give them drugs, and then they're stuck and addicted to them sometimes. And if we can avoid that, that's life-changing for a whole family. And so that's my two focuses, is get them out there and help people really live a better pain-free life, for sure.
Oh, this must be so rewarding for you to see the results. Your Holistic Anti-Aging Wellness Center is in Anaheim Hills, California. But how can someone from Arizona or somewhere else consult with you about their health or be introduced to your devices? And are you taking any more clients right now?
I am taking clients. We have limited hours in the clinic as well, sometimes because of course getting these out there. But I do still have some room for a few more new clients. And also the devices, they just go to redlightprodevices.com. And I would like to offer your audience a discount also, so we can put that, you know, in the code. But the you know, friends 25, we can if they put that in when they go there, they can get a 25% discount from the devices. So that's friends 25.
Wow. So we're talking on an average, maybe cost of about $400. So that's $100 off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really generous. Thank you so much, Penny. Well,
Yeah.
you are an amazing, brilliant, and powerful healer, an innovator, an entrepreneur. I'm so interested to see where you take this technology and how many more people. Now, you've already treated thousands of clients, but how many more you will be able to help enjoy and improve quality of life and less pain and less downtime. Thank you so much for joining us on Zonie Living.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
This has been an eye-opening experience for me to learn that red light therapy has so many applications, from treating skin conditions to reducing pain, inflammation, and body fat, and even tackling some very serious health challenges like strokes and cancer. And with Penny's devices, you can have this therapy at home. This is Zonie Living, business, adventure, and leadership. I'm Bonnie Stevens.